Overwatch League Pros Test Overwatch 2 exhibition match, and this has all the changes and stuff too, right? The Bastion stuff. Or do they talk about it?
My God, we've been waiting quite some time for this. Yeah. This guy's been teasing me about these for weeks. Now we've seen the reworks and the new looks for Sombra and for Bastion. We know we're dealing with 5v5. We know about the new map to a degree because we've dealt, of course, with
Emery's
a lot
fancy with that suit.
We've spoken with the developers to a degree. This is very exciting.
You know, we got to see it obviously during the PvP live stream, right? A lot of the different things, right, with 5v5, some of the reworks for tanks. Now with the rework for Bastion and Sombra, I'm really excited to be able to get to cast it. Obviously, you see some of the players that we've had in the playoffs play it in a highly competitive setting, right? You know, these players, you know, throughout this play test, were going pretty hard at it. Obviously, they don't want their first showing in Overwatch 2 to be pretty poor. They obviously wanted to win pretty hard. So I'm excited to see some of this.
We heard a little bit from Space about some of his insights and his takeaways from the playtest and from this specific match. And you got to see a little bit of a glimpse of it. But let's talk about who we actually got in this example to sit down and play through the game. Again, we're not using the same teams. It's a bit of a mix and match. So team 1 is Assassin, Kevs to Space, Shu and Moff.
Is there a reason why they had like all of Glads and like not all the other teams?
I know all of these players come from.
Or was it just like those two teams are the ones that
Gladiators? Those are the players. Obviously, you know, you lose first from the Western region. They've had the most hands-on time with the game. I think probably some fun where they didn't want to just play their full team against their full team and decided to mess around. The things that I'm looking at, it'll be fun to see Moth play, right? We haven't seen him play in a while. It'll just be fun to see him play some Overwatch 2. And then to see Space, how he kind of adjusts to playing in a solo tank environment. We saw a little bit of it. I know some of the highlights during the pre-show. It'll be fun to see what it looks like, though, once we get into
on the other team. Yeah, well, they had Decay and Birdring are really two good DPS.
Just a second,
then the other one, Assassin plays deeps.
Exciting times, of course, to get to see the reveal here of some high-level.
It's an actual match. Yeah,
it's going to be the push map to start us off.
Yeah, so push is obviously a
Pros
new game
test Overwatch 2. Yeah, so it's that team versus this team.
Overwatch 2. It's really kind of like a neutral objective where you have the robot.
Yeah, so they have Assassin, Kevster, Space, Shu and Moth on one team. There's Decay, Birdring, Mag, Closer, and
once we get into game,
which is like Defiance and Lads, right?
Just a second, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with us now. Exciting times, of course, to get to see the reveal here of some high-level Overwatch 2 gameplay, Matthew. It's going to be the push map to start us off.
Super wasn't in there.
So push is obviously a
I don't know how they picked the players for this.
For Overwatch in Overwatch 2.
Is that Rome?
It's really kind of like a neutral objective where you have the robot here. He'll push the barricades depending on who controls the objective back and forth. What's really great about this is obviously that there's not many scenarios you can tie. It's also one of the game modes that you kind of find where there's not really kind of an offense and defense, like a hard offense or defense on either side. You're looking at just playing just a kind of completely variable map where sometimes you're on defense, sometimes you're on offense. A lot of just flow to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all the Overwatch maps look really nice.
Fighting. You felt like there was a ton of skirmishes.
Very like visually
a lot of back and forth stuff here. It's going to be 5 versus 5, of course, and we already get to see some of these looks to start things off. We're going to see Bastion straight off the bat, which is great. Also, Sombra,
honestly, they should have asked me to do it.
Look heroes with their reworks are going to be coming out the gates.
Well, also a reminder that there's some of the other changes that were in the PvP stream that are in here as well, right? Reinhardt, when he charges, can control and maneuver himself.
You got that power steering.
Would even have Ryan look different in this?
Squad, right? I know, being able to get right towards that choke and the double fire strike. So some changes there with Reinhardt as we get to the mix. So this is a pretty deadly area of the map, right? A large, long corridor. It's something we usually don't really have like a lot in Overwatch 1. These like massive.
I don't know. The graphics seem kind of like weird.
On the move. Unreal.
Or is that just me?
You see the biotic grenade thrown in there.
Or is it just because like the UI is different?
But, I mean, the fact that you can move around and have that Gatling gun potential. Now, also the primary fire.
I don't know. It looks like
a bit different.
Bursts, right?
I know.
It's really good in like long range scenarios. We see here.
Oh, now you can hack while you're in stealth.
POV,
nice, man.
Sombra, right? Used in much more of like an offensive way. Space gets hacked.
Yeah, it looks like it's like, I don't know.
Abilities come back online, and a nice pin there to take out Closer.
Okay, Space is dirty. Look at the maneuverability that he has for such a short range charge.
Connect.
So this means that Team 1 are on the road. They're pushing here, and obviously 2, I think.
Oh, the double fire strikes.
Is our name for the robot here?
Yeah, so you can see at the top of the screen, right? The blue team is in the lead right now, pushing that robot. When the red team gets control of it, it'll kind of move faster back.
So is it by the end of the
really
time?
The team's barricade more than anything.
Whoever has it pushed farther wins.
I think we see a lot of people getting hacked by this Sombra right there, but it's for a brief time that their abilities are unavailable. We saw this one in the preview, I think, and yeah, Space is getting a little bit nutty with it. Getting right into the face there of Mag.
I want to see how long like the
spend here. Now these ultimates don't come as easy, right? You're not getting nearly as much ult charge.
Cooldown is to do fire strike. How fast you can just throw it.
Yes, and I also think one thing you do realize right away
first.
is how much more offensive the tanks are, right? Where Space is able to get right up and in that area. You see Mag there, it's interrupted, and he actually tries to go for a shatter, but it's going to be an EMP from Decay on the other side.
Bird ring on the Genji, by the way. Nasty stuff. Assassin's already picked off while Mag sleeps it off, and that's the EMP coming out. But Bird ring still has, obviously, the use of the dash so soon after the EMP hits.
I think this support thing is pretty cool. Like the new support changes, where they have like
a large 1 second interrupt, and then it's really about
Discord healing and like this stuff is kind of cool.
Health damage as well, right?
Yes, and trying to actually finish players off. See, that's a nice hack here onto Moth. As he'll end up falling. So Assassin does have this Bastion. We'll see if he's able to get a good use of it.
Oh, so it counts like it doesn't go back. I thought it was like it just goes back and forth, not like how far they pushed it. Like I thought this will just go down and then it's like they win, you know? Okay, so it's like still percentage based, like a cough.
They're starting to move their barricade up.
Look at this maneuverability. He can't control it.
Yeah, he's not ready. The hydraulics are just too insane. Mag finds the shadow, knocks Space on down, looks for Assassin who's sleeping, and Birdering's going to go for the blade.
Oh my.
Here. That's 1, that's 2. And almost getting, what, 50% of it, 40% of an entire team with 1 blade is pretty nice.
Yeah, and I think you can see just how, obviously Overwatch, a very fast-paced game, but in 5v5, just the aggression and fast pace you can play at. And I think it's a great point, right? We're used to
there you go, tank Bastion. Wait,
here we go. A fight being for a very long time.
Wait, what? That's how he does this? Oh, what the fuck?
3 spots down here. You see Mag takes a
we fucking missed everything, bro. What the?
Jeff was talking about earlier. But able to get healed up pretty quick.
We have a Zarya here, though, for Space. Bear in mind, Zarya has 2 bubbles. She can bubble herself twice or a teammate twice, and that shield of Mag.
So his normal, like, turret form he can do whenever he wants?
Moth is awfully low. Skew goes for that little sleep dart. The Assassin is super low, and Skew's showing us a little bit of that. Ana, very nice.
I wonder if you get, like, if you get hacked, so you just take you out of that.
You see one of the ticks on the top of the screen as the red team is approaching it. That's going to be a bit of a checkpoint there.
And his alternate fire.
So that'll give them a little bit of a forward spawn.
It changes
obviously.
The spawn location.
Yeah, it would be kind of crazy if they had to spawn all.
So I'm guessing you can still get hacked out of it if you go into like the artillery mode before you fire.
Also, just to remind people, this is a different version of Zarya. Zarya has the 2 bubbles on a shared cooldown.
The Reaper guy goes in. The sound of the Hellfire shotguns as well, it rattles, right? Especially in that.
Oh yeah, they changed all the new sounds as well, right?
Space talked about, right? Graphically, obviously, the new hero looks for a lot of the different heroes in this build, but then also just the weapon sounds. It's one of the things where I think speaking to some of the players who have had some hands-on, they're like, man, the damage just feels so strong, and I think it's because there's the sounds of the guns and everything just feel so much more like violent, right? It feels really like more real, I think, than kind of like Overwatch 1.
Matt, I noticed the sound playing when one of your teammates is eliminated, like what we hear in knockout elimination, or lockout, excuse me. Look at the EMP. Look at the percent health damage on Mag. He gets blown to smithereens by Kevster after with the damage increase.
Pretty good at tracking right there, man.
Sombra, like an offensive powerhouse, right? You kind of look at players who play Sombra now, really just trying to play more of a team-oriented game. Now it is just way more of kind of almost like playing a little bit of a tracer.
Well, we got a checkpoint.
So the blue team going to get towards this barrier. You can see now they take the lead at the top of the screen. They are in charge.
That yellow line represents the enemy team's sort of furthest post.
Wait, how once if you get to the checkpoint, then it can't go behind that?
Enemy forward spawn changed there. So with that checkpoint now, that changes obviously where the leading team come from. Yeah, this is scary. That's 1. That's 2.
Oh, so it just changes the spawn spots. Dude, honestly, I feel like they can make all the 2 CP maps into these then.
Was the first to fall there.
Moth had the rally, but he didn't have it for much longer as Nanoblade, regardless.
I just change every 2 CP into a push.
3v3, 5v5, whatever you want to play. Still so impactful as Space now. See if he can get charged up on this Zarya. Going to have like a Death Blossom plus Grav combination.
Right, TWO is pretty much sat in the middle of the map for the time being, but Team 1 lead with under 2 minutes now left. There's the grab. Pretty nice cleanup. Easier for Space to get a ton of charge individually now. He can be self-sustaining.
Oh my god. He's a monster.
With the nano, it just sounds so filthy. That'll be a team wipe here for the blue team as they are still in the lead, just trying to get the barricade even further, right, forward their progress, make it even harder for the red team to come back. Some more changes here for the red team, as I'm sure a lot of these players experimented throughout this. As Birdring now over to the Reaper, Mag on the D.Va. So I know a lot of players, just even of the tank role in general, were a little bit kind of worried. They think about D.Va in solo play.
You were eliminated.
She's so good as like.
Oh, it even says like the name that you got killed by on your screen.
To really be pretty strong.
And we definitely already knew that, right? That was something that she showcased, in Overwatch for quite some time. Birdring, I mean, this is a much more familiar pick for him. Nasty stuff as Space there gets kind of blown up. Again, it was mentioned, I think Space said that tanks feel like sort of bigger DPSs. They also fall just as quickly in some cases now.
Well, I think you can also see how, like, speed and just verticality is going to end up playing, right? Where, Mag is able to get in a position, make a play, but then also use the defense matrix. That is
the Bastion on top of the wall. Ooh, that's a good question. I would hope not.
Nicely skewed.
That'd be pretty funny.
I'm sure he'll want that one for the highlight reel. Looks like the blue team actually going to try.
Even though he can't set up anyways. So
that's one thing.
His turret mode is only like 3 seconds, isn't it?
Objective is there's a lot of areas to play.
You can't just like set up forever.
You don't have to circumvent to go play for a static objective like a control or something like that. There's so many different routes you can take because obviously the robot will take long to get back to the barricade. You can take numerous fights in different areas.
There's a sense where you don't necessarily always want to fight around where TWO is,
you
right?
Wouldn't think so.
So these fights are being taken externally to where the robot
he automatically just runs back?
Close to overtime. 7 seconds on the left. Overtime.
Oh, no, he stands still. Okay.
The red team is behind right now with the blue team in the lead. They'll have an opportunity as long as they control this to keep moving the robot forward.
Right, and so there on the score, you can actually see where Team 2 need to get to win the round. You can't draw this really at all.
The ult charge definitely needs to be changed. That looks trash.
It'd be difficult, and you jinx us if it.
Which is like orange and then like the fucking default text.
Death Blossom here by Birdring to try and clear some space. Team 2 are moving for the time being, and they're using that to break line of sight, right? Using TWO and the barricade to avoid the damage, but damn, Team 1 got back awfully quick.
Yeah, the barricade gives you a little bit of a space there to be able to move up, almost a little bit like cover, to get in position, and it's going to be the blue team wiping the red team off of the robot, not pushing the barricade anymore. So
there's no like rounds. That's just like the end of the game.
Winning, which that's really exciting to see, like the first
I kind of like that
showing of.
It goes fast then.
Because I think right. It was BlizzCon 2 years ago, or I mean,
all right.
Blends in right now. Where
I'm
we
a fan.
Saw it played on Toronto. And that was really just kind of like a lot of play tests with, the general public and whatnot. To see the pros play it in like a competitive environment is really interesting. I also think you can kind of see from some of that gameplay, right, is like ultimates are a little bit harder to gain in terms of like, right, tanks taking, one less tank.
And there are definitely less of them, right?
Yeah, also tanks generating less ultimates, but that also allows you to switch pretty frequently, right? You can play different things at different times, and
it's all going to come down to like which tanks can probably flex.
I was really impressed by some of these fights being taken away from
like
the
flex
objective.
gods.
It seems like you fight on the objective or just external.
If you can know how to play every single one, then you're in good shape.
So many different
you're stuck only playing one, then.
We could gush about this for quite a while. We've got to get on with the show though.
I'll be getting the boot off these Overwatch League rosters.
How the desk has to react to this, because obviously we've got some ex-pros there, a lot of excitement around Overwatch 2 push. So we in the crew.
And this aired during the grand finals.
Thank you so much, Mitch and Matt. Well, that looked like so much fun. We got a special guest joining us here in just a second as well to talk about what we just got to see. But really quick, first impressions, starting with you, Danny.
Hey, space on that Reinhardt, though.
It was pretty nasty.
Hey, you're looking kind of clean with that hammer, I'm just saying. Good job.
Yeah, for me, it was that like a couple of kills really turn a team fight. With one less hero on the map, it's just those double, triple kills really have that more weight.
I mean, I gotta say the gun sounds though. They're making a big difference to me, and I can't wait to be at a live Overwatch League event next year, perhaps. You get to hear some of those new sounds. That's going to be epic to me.
Absolutely. I just love the fast pace of it. It was just action. Yeah. That's what I want to see in my game. Now, joining us here for our
coordination.
Game break is Game Director of Overwatch, Aaron Keller. How are you doing, Aaron?
Hi. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Aaron, what's up, man?
I could not hear you, but I assume you said I'm doing great.
That's what
I'm
I
happy
had.
to be here.
We're just lip syncing.
Can you hear me now?
Right. Now we hear you. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell me, how has it been for you to get to watch pro players playing your baby Overwatch 2?
It's been really great. I didn't actually think it was going to have this effect on me, so I'm just kind of riffing here, but that was really special. If you think about it, this is the first time that anybody in the public has played our game. And as a developer, to just be able to work on something for such a long period of time and finally put it out and see it being played, and especially being played at like such a high level, it's actually like kind of emotionally significant for me. And I'm sure the rest of the team feels that way too.
Oh, I bet.
In Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah, we felt emotional too watching it. That was just so much fun.
Me to play it?
Before
Yeah.
I hand it over to Danny for the next question, do you feel like they played it like you meant for it to be played? Like, did they use it as supposed to do?
They followed the script perfectly, yeah.
Perfect.
There's script for everything.
I mean, that's what makes a good show, man.
All right, Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Hey!
I just wanted to say hi before I ask my question.
He's
Hello.
very polite. He's so polite.
We were talking about the players, so my question is actually about the players as well. We've seen some of the best Overwatch League players play Overwatch 2. Was there a standout player for you, or was there a player that impressed you the most?
Ooh.
Are you talking about if we're talking about the match?
They're talking about Sombra and Bastion before.
Yes, the match.
The
Oh, they didn't put it in this one for those two? No, that's unfortunate.
Even more effective
Maybe it'll come back towards
than
the
I was
end.
expecting them to be, and especially on our push maps. So we're talking about Rome, where there's this winding path that kind of the push robot follows, but through the middle of the map, there's this cut through that.
I can't really hear much of the sound effects, but
some
of them sound pretty good.
A lot of times the tanks would cut through the middle and either push or cut off people from the other team. You saw D.Va do it about 2/3 of the way through against the enemy team's Ashe. And it's something that we've always kind of wondered about when really good people play this match. Like very
kind of like this, where there's a bunch of cover around
on the payload. And how
payload.
many people are going
There's a bunch of like map cover, like all these little like things.
And
I think that's really good if you want to try and play a tank.
These other areas of the map. So it was really cool watching that, and it was really cool seeing how the tank.
Otherwise, they'll just get completely rolled with no off tank.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just really cool to see like how the game has changed with one hero out of the lineup, really. And something that I'm looking forward to in Overwatch 2 is just seeing how much better they get, especially with all the heroes. The question that I have is, in the future when we get the build in Overwatch League 2022, are we going to have the original right now 32 heroes all available for us?
Yeah, so Jeff Goodman earlier talked about some of the reworks that we're doing, and we've shown some of those reworks tonight, and we're going to keep doing those.
They've not saying completed heroes yet? No, not yet.
That all of the heroes work in the new 5v5 world that Overwatch 2 is going to take place in. Our plan is that we will have all.
They haven't
of
really
those
said like, yeah.
heroes,
They said that hero, but not like any like
heroes,
abilities and stuff yet.
Awesome.
Playable for the next season of Overwatch League. And who knows, there might even be a few more.
Ooh.
Oh,
A few more maps?
Emoji.
Extra stuff?
Pause.
Like the Bastion Rework wasn't enough. We're getting more. Really looking forward to that. For my question, of course, we've now had a chance to look at pros taking on Overwatch 2 and playing some of that. But we didn't get to see the entire hero roster. Of course, some are being reworked as we speak. But what are some things we perhaps didn't see that you're really looking forward to see Overwatch League pros get their hand on and see what they
will be
can
able
do
to play.
with,
No, I'm pretty
the
sure
creativity, of course,
Overwatch
in the game.
1 just goes away.
I'm really looking
because Overwatch 1
forward to
is just the
getting
PvP,
a handle
right?
on
So that just
5v5, the way the new
changes
heroes
into
work,
the
and how all of
Overwatch
that
2.
works, on some of our
And
new
then
maps, especially the new game mode maps.
the
It's really cool to see.
campaign is like the
especially in
big
that
thing.
last match, you saw Reaper come out at a certain point, and he's so powerful in push because the teams are a lot closer together in a mode like this. And they're always kind of just like dancing right at the
Or
edge
they might
of
just
each
leave it.
other.
Yeah,
So
maybe,
heroes
and just
that,
have
we saw
Overwatch 2 be a
Doomfist
brand new
out there, we
game.
saw
That's pretty
Genji
much what
out
it
there.
is.
They're really able to make big plays, and it's another one of those things that I think is kind of cool in 5v5. So yes, 1 or 2 kills does matter. It can turn a fight around, but at the same time, there is an opportunity to carry. A well-placed pulse bomb can completely even out that fight and start like pushing it in the other direction.
Yeah, I do want to talk about Push because it's a map that we haven't really explored, or a mode that we haven't explored much at all. When you're designing these new Push game modes, are you trying to create a different scenario to something you'd likely see in Escort, Hybrid, or Control? Do you want it to feel different to these other game modes?
Yeah, that's part of it. We want something that feels different. We want something that plays well. And one of the things that I really like about Push, and the reason why I feel like it's different,
and it's a fast game mode.
It takes a little bit from
for like
Control,
fucking 30 minutes.
and it takes a little bit from Payload. So in Control, like for a King of the Hill map, all of the action takes place in the middle of the map, or most of it does, on or around the control point. And then in a Payload map, you have action kind of happening all the way through the map, and team fights happen in different areas. And so it's not just that the different hero compositions and what the teams are doing affect any of those team fights or any of the combat, but the actual map geometry.
I'm pretty sure you'd have to probably pay for Overwatch 2.
Like Push,
I don't think they're just gonna give it for free.
Game mode, just like Control is, but you're.
I feel like they should like do the PvP for free, and you just have to pay for the campaign. I feel like that's like the best way that Overwatch has to go.
We're able to kind of have
so many like
mechanic.
FPS games are just free now.
Really push far
you just make your money off of like microtransactions,
like really
and I would think they probably need to do
to the other side of the map
to bring a bigger player base.
Absolutely.
Now I do wonder. I mean, making a sequel.
PvP is free. Did they?
It's always a
100% say that PvP is free.
So when the first one has been such a successful title. What was the most important thing for you and your team to preserve moving from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2?
It seems like it. Oh, okay.
I think is a hallmark of Overwatch.
Hey, bro,
is the way the heroes
gamble and lose again. It's not your day.
Kind of synergize with each other, and the way that all of our game modes and our maps demand teams to work together. You can't accomplish everything by yourself in Overwatch. You have to work.
New game Overwatch 2, nah, bro.
So we really wanted to preserve.
Run around, chicken head cut off, drag out.
The new game mode that we saw tonight, Push, does it. It still
Player tank to a guru. I know, man.
5v5, and then on top of that,
one of us is going to have to swap to deeps.
Really love
or supports.
Overwatch is just the way any of the individual heroes feel. Just jumping into the game and strafing back and forth feels good. Blinking around a map. As
all my duos always leave me, man, or get taken away.
So we had to preserve that. We had to make it feel like it was this same incredibly responsive game that requires all of the strategy and the cooperation that Overwatch 1 takes.
Right, definitely. It looked smooth. It looked vibrant. It looked so much fun. So it looked like everything we wanted and then some. Now, any last thoughts or sentiments, rather, you would like to share with the community before, the first Reddit thread pops up?
Sure. You didn't even ask me when the game was gonna ship, so like I don't even know where to go.
I tried my luck with Jeff. He was very tight-lipped about it, so I didn't know.
Would.
I mean, feel free, take it.
Would you?
Yeah, probably. Why did I bring that up myself? That was a huge mistake. But okay, I can't talk about
it yourself.
I can't talk about when the game is going to ship. But I think one of the really exciting things that's happening is that Overwatch League is going to be playing the Overwatch 2 build next season. And this
that means they're probably like already
really
testing it out or playing it right now for sure.
See
so they can have like, because there's no way
build of it being played
they don't just let them play the whole time as they're doing changes when they have to build a roster that fast.
I know we can't talk about the date, but the game is moving forward and it's far enough along that we want Overwatch League playing it.
Absolutely. I mean, you say you're excited about it. Think about us. Oh, yeah. We're counting down the days already for the next season. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see more of the game and you and your team. But we've got a grand finals to finish. When we come back after this, we will crown the 2021 champion. So don't go
2021 champion. Don't go anywhere. Okay, well, I left. To Bastion Sombra changes. See if they have it. Oh, here we go. Easy. Now we can check out both of these. Oh, we got a hat. Cool guy.
Bastion is getting a big rework for Overwatch 2, and the team is really excited about his changes.
Look-wise, we updated and modernized his appearance with the use of sleeker, more modern materials. We also gave him a hat to help him stand out and to add an extra touch of character.
Oh yes, so the hat, most important change.
Well, for starters, he no longer has his self-repair button at all. It's just gone. Instead, he now has a brand new ability that's bound to alternate fire. This ability fires a projectile that can bounce off of walls and stick to players, and does a ton of damage, has a really big radius, so it's super fun to fire. His recon form weapon has changed significantly as well. It now has no spread at all, but has reduced fire rate to compensate. This lets him poke at much longer ranges and play a little more like a pseudo-sniper, kind of like his recon form theme is always kind of meant to be. For his ultimate, we completely changed it up. He no longer has this tank mode, he instead goes into a new artillery mode.
You then get to choose 3 points to call down an artillery strike anywhere on the map within the ability's timer.
Then anywhere on the map?
Now finally, something we think you'll all be excited about. While in Sentry form, Bastion can now
how fast you can actually move,
albeit at a reduced movement speed. We've also changed the ability to have a cooldown now. This lets us keep it super strong since you can't use it all the time.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Sombra change. Those can be blocked and reflected though. I mean, you can't, if you can't be shielded above, like, yeah, if it goes down, if it's like in the middle, maybe, yeah, if you put a shield, it'll block it like Doomfist ult.
Sombra's
does a lot of damage,
really
she'll probably break pretty fast.
That can dramatically affect the way she's played.
I think Sombra definitely would just own Bastions though, if they can just hack them.
We're reducing her CC abilities in line with larger changes to Overwatch 2 and giving her more potential damage.
Let's start with changes to her hack ability. First, we significantly reduced the cooldown.
Oh, that's great.
Secondly,
nice, man.
Her hack now lasts 8 seconds, but now has 2 components to it.
Oh, now it lasts 8 seconds?
The first component of the ability works exactly like it does in Overwatch 1.
2-second cooldown?
Abilities. However, that effect now has been reduced to 1 second.
Oh, nice, dude. So you're hacked for 8 seconds. Cooldown's like 3 seconds. Oh, so you're perma CC'd if you're a tank. Yo. Great job, Overwatch. That sounds really fun, actually, man. Actually, that's smart thinking. Oh, we want to reduce CC and everything, but okay.
A new effect that reveals hack targets to Sombra.
Oh, and now they get revealed too, so we can't even hide
the entire duration of the hack. In addition to that, her passive has gained the ability to do 50% more damage to hacked targets. For her ultimate ability, we tweaked it so it no longer removes all shields, but instead, it now just deals damage to enemies equal to 40% of their current health. Combined with her new passive effect, this gives her even more finishing potential.
That's actually pretty
An update that really leans into her character is that you can now hack while being in stealth mode. You are briefly revealed when hacking, but it no longer removes stealth completely.
Yeah, it's kind of busted.
See you later.
Like Sombra's dad, that's pretty fucking strong. Much more fun. It definitely makes her more fun, but I think it seems pretty fucking strong. Yeah, very fun and interactive character there. Because there's so much cover that I feel like, yeah, you can hack somebody, but if you can be moving while you're hacked, then if you briefly show yourself when you're hacking, like, I don't know, you just get in and out of hack like really quick. And you go back in stealth without having to use a button. Seems pretty OP. I don't know, maybe they have to make it like show longer or something if they want to do that. But I don't know. Guess we'll find out. We shall see. Hopefully, I hope Overwatch 2 is good. I want it to be good. Like the game. But they have to do so many reworks to every character. Like, even if it's just like damage for sure. Some heroes need changing. Like, I don't know. We should see like how much they do. How much they change. But yeah. Go for the best, boys. April. On dev team, I believe. I believe, man. more assassin-like, unless team reliant. Yeah, I feel like they want to like try and just have a lot more damage, time to kill super fast. Because it is all, I will say, Overwatch, you survive for, I would say, way too long. In a team fight, if it lasts like an hour, so everyone's just so much healing and everything, then I'm kind of glad they took like the health away and giving people more damage. They actually seem like you can actually like kill people, not just survive forever. Alive when I wake? Yeah, I'm actually about to go to sleep pretty soon here. I think it's just gonna come down to whoever has better deeps. Or yeah, honestly, better deeps, better flex support probably. You can frag out the most. What are they gonna do with me? Yeah, honestly, just delete the character. Let's be real. But who knows? We'll see. We shall call it a night here. 4:30.